What's going on, Wolfpack Nation? Welcome to another Tuffy Talk live show, y'all. We are rolling and we are excited as it is time for some NC State versus Carolina junk, y'all. It is an exciting time for sure. And Carson, I think is a great time just to revel, at what amazing year we've had. Hey, let's raise our hands if our team went to Final Four this year. Yeah, let's see. Got 2 out of 3. All right, got 2 out of 3. Let's see. Marquise, man, why don't you put your hand? Oh wait, you got that blue one, man. Dang, Marquise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man. But Wolfpack Nation, you got Marquise Williams here, former UNC quarterback, man, and a good buddy. Me and Marquise go way back. Just to remind everybody once again of the history of sure. If you want to get the full story, make sure to go check out last year's UNC preview where we go through the whole story for sure. But me and Marquise Williams had the greatest stare down between a ball boy and a quarterback in college football history, y'all. It is documented. It is unmatched, to say the least, for sure.
Yes, sir.
So, but any questions, comments, concerns, make sure to put them in the chat. We will get to them here today. But I already got Michelle saying happy GTHC week. Good Marvelous Monday, Wolfpack Nation. Got Hunter even in the chat as well. Appreciate you, Hunter, joining in here. But Marquise, man, how's life been treating you, man? You excited for this week, man? You excited for this game?
Man, I'm excited, man. We both, had I guess you could say a rough season, but it's still one of the best rivals to me in college football. I know we don't get a lot of publicity from us Carolina people, but man, it's still one of the funnest rivals to me. It goes back to the fighting and being a part of it. So I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. The blood that goes between us, these two teams, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be in the stands and watch it, man. And finally back in Chapel Hill with it this year. So hopefully, we can come out victorious.
Well, I mean, tell me about the vibes right now. I mean, like you think, because you just I think we both agree for sure this year for both football programs, it has not been a good season whatsoever. Obviously with UNC side, there's a lot of excitement about Marion Hampton, and he's had a solid year for sure. I mean, you could say a good year, but I mean, for Marion Hampton, wasn't probably the year he expected per se. But I mean, so what do you feel like Marquise is going to be the vibe, on Saturday? Do you think it'll match what we had last year in Carter Finley Stadium, or do you think the down year might affect a little bit?
I don't know if it'll match it. It will match last year. That's kind of tough.
That was just craziness.
Last year was really, really crazy. So, but I mean, it's still going to be a good one. Like I say, you can't knock this rival. It's always who gets the last word. So that's what this is all about, man. And you know how the rival this thing goes. For instance, Carolina, I got friends in state, and it goes a long way, man. And that's just how we was raised. And you wearing the red, I'm wearing the blue. So
that's right. And you got Hunter also saying, Marquise, you're an awesome player. Much respect.
Man.
No, I mean, again, I'm I've said it in my opinion, my unbiased opinion, Marquise. Obviously, I think we got to put you behind Drake May and Sam Howell. As much as it hurts me, man, for sure. But I'm
that's all right.
You up there, man. You know what I mean? So don't you worry. But so talk to me a little bit about this season from a quarterback side. I mean, I think that for both of us, man, it has been a rough year, to say the least, for the quarterback position for sure. Obviously, with us starting off with Grayson McCall, going to CJ, who's shown some ups, who's shown some downs, and then with the UNC side, obviously starting off with the transfer from Texas A&M, and then now with settling with Jacoby Criswell. What's your thoughts so far on just like how? I mean, it's tough for any team really to go through a rotation of quarterbacks. I mean, obviously, we can attest to that for sure. But what's your kind of comments on the season that we've seen from the quarterback side for UNC, and specifically what you've seen from Jacoby Criswell stepping up in that situation?
Well, I mean, we were expecting Johnson to be the starting quarterback, and unfortunately he got hurt in that the first game, and we went in and then we with Connor Harrell, and then we had Jacoby, so it was going back and forth with both quarterbacks. Like I say, it's tough when you're not really taking that many reps during training camp, and Max was getting all of them because he was the starter. But then it's like things change in the blink of an eye. Max goes down, and now, dang, who's going to be the starter? Those two guys were splitting reps in training camp. And I want to say I think Jacoby was third string, so he wasn't seeing too much action in training camp, and getting ready and going into the season. So it was more Connor Harrell being with the number 2. But then they switched it over, and Connor started to play, and everybody, he wasn't, coaches must not have been too pleased with him, so they went to Jacoby. Jacoby's had a lot of experience. He's a humble young fella who's smart, who's still trying to figure the game out. And it's hard, man. It's hard trying to figure it out when you weren't gonna be the starter, and you're getting all these different looks, and you ain't really been studying film and everything you've been going through just to get to this moment, man. So it's kind of tough, man. It's a tough situation for both teams, man. We've just both been up and down. Like I say, quarterback position is the main spot. If you have a good quarterback, you can go far. And I'm not saying neither one of us have good quarterbacks. We don't have enough experience with the guys that we have with our guys. So I'm not saying Jacoby's not a good quarterback. I'm not saying Bailey's not a good quarterback. I'm just saying more experience and more time these guys would have had, it probably would have, made them look better, or, at the case than what they're doing now. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg, what's going on, brother?
What's going on?
What up? Yeah,
Marquise, hello. How are you doing? I wish
we could meet on.
Good. I wish we could meet on better circumstances.
Oh, they're good. That's all
yeah.
Good.
No, absolutely. Well, and I mean, and jumping into Marquise as well. I mean, I'm very curious. I know that this guy I'm about to mention, you've already mentioned as well, is unfortunately going to be playing against you guys here on Saturday. But I'm curious, as a quarterback, what are your thoughts on CJ Bailey? Like, what have you thought about him?
I talked about a lot of people. I think he's going to be an outstanding QB.
Really?
Will he be in red a lot? A red? I don't know. NIL is taking over. That's just being honest. But I think he's going to be really good. I'll say that's to a lot of people that, when I see him out like that, I think CJ is going to be really good. He's only a freshman. That comes with a lot. I mean, that's tough. That's tough as a freshman, 17, 18 years old, starting for an ACC school. I mean, that went down to Death Valley. He's getting a lot of games on his belt. So I'm surprised to see. I think you have a good sophomore year, and after that, I don't know if we'll see him in the ACC with this NIL going on. Just how this game is. But I like Bailey, man. Like I said, he's up and down because he's still a baby. He's a baby at the taking the keys to the castle. So he got a lot of time, man, and I think he's gonna be really, really good, honestly.
Good. All right. I mean, and it's fair comment for sure. I mean, I know Carson. I know we've talked about it before, but obviously, I think even this offseason is going to be a little bit interesting. What happens with CJ?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's see. So I mean, Greg, kind of give me, man, what's your feels for this game? You think we make it 4 in a row this year, man?
Well, look, I had to pull out the game ball they gave me when I broke my leg, and that thing is undefeated. So I don't plan on putting it away anytime soon.
I love it. Yeah.
I think Marquise said it well. Like, it's a teams that are up and down. It's a rivalry game. You just throw everything out and just look. It's gonna be fun. I'm shocked at anyone that's a true Carolina fan or a true State fan that doesn't want to go to this game. I get it. It's you put everything aside. It's a hate game for both sides, and you just.
That's it.
It almost makes it bigger that both teams are just not great, because this is all both teams are playing for at this point.
That's
right. It's true.
That's right, man. That's true.
Yeah. Wait, and do you think? I mean, like I said it 2 weeks ago that, again, if you gave me the choice, said, all right, Layden, you can only win one game. You can either beat Georgia Tech or you can beat Carolina. I mean, obviously, I'd rather beat Carolina all day and twice on Tuesday. So, but obviously, with how close we were and how we should have beaten Georgia Tech this past week, like, dang,
especially how they just came off of an emotional win over Miami. You thought that was going to be a game that they would maybe have a letdown. Everything just kind of lined up. It was a Thursday night game, like under the light. Like, anyway, I'm over it. Moving on to Carolina.
That's right. Yeah, but Marquise, again, former player yourself, do you feel like that the added motivation that, for NC State, that you're playing for your season to continue one more game? Does that play a little bit on our side?
Of course. This get y'all for the bowl eligible, right?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, we're 5-6 right now, unfortunately.
You guys come out swinging regardless. I shouldn't say y'all gonna come out swinging. You guys come out swinging regardless. This rivalry, you come out like you said, like Greg said, you come out knocking heads. So I don't. If I don't see if Dave haven't Coach Doran haven't got those boys ready to go, pitchers up in the locker rooms, and
conversely for Mac too. Look, if there's no other game you get up for, it's this one. Again, like you said, records aside, this is your rival. Yeah. These are guys that have played each other since Pop Warner. A lot of them,
Yeah. Now, Marquise, I just want to confirm: have you spoken with Mac at all to make sure he has the right cleats this year? To make sure guys can keep their feet underneath them. I just want to make sure that
it is their home field. They should know.
I have not. So we're at home. We'll be good. I'm gonna actually head out to practice on Wednesday. Try to give him a little pep talk. So.
Hey, man, I need a video of that. I would love to see that pep talk, man. A couple F-bombs here and there, maybe.
Matt don't like too many people cursing, so I'll keep a little F-bomb.
All right. Cool deal.
Just in the pocket. It might slip out, but it's in the pocket.
I get it, no doubt.
Gotta have that inspirational speech ready.
That's it, brother.
Right.
That's it.
They may have asked you this, and I apologize. What is your biggest moment? You're from the NC State North Carolina rivalry. Like what is the one thing that sticks out? It could be a game that you participated in, or outside of that. I'm just curious.
I'll answer for him.
Now that I don't play, I would say tailgating, bro. Tailgating for this game is it is, man. It's just so much. It's fun. Like I think when I finished and I came back in 17 or 18. Was it? It was at you guys at 17. Was it 17 that you guys at 18? No.
Odds are at State. Evens are at Carolina.
Yeah. Sam Howes. I want to say it's his freshman year.
So 2019. 2019.
Yes, and I tailgated over there, bro. And this is what I said. I said, man, aside of this being a rival, I never felt like State hated me. It's like y'all fans were so welcome to me. Like, hey man, take a drink here, have fun. Like, bro, beside that. And I was like, man, this is fun tailgating. And so that's when I really started to get into tailgating in Carter. Like I never really tailgated. And that was the first time I actually tailgated. And I was like, man, this is awesome. So aside the football, I say tailgate, man. It's just meeting up with what State people, and it's just fun. You know what I mean? Like I said, football is football, but the tailgating was a lot of fun that night, and it's been going on ever since then. So I continue to make the trip. Everybody's like, man, why do you always go to the Carter when there's a game? I mean, you're gonna get beat up. No, I'm not. Like, I'm not two guys that get beat up. Like, I go have a drink with them, talk with them, football.
Morons do that stuff, man.
So yeah.
Yeah, we got morons. You got morons. Like
exactly, man, exactly. So, yeah.
Well, and you were 2-1 against us, right?
Yeah,
so yeah, just saying. Well, and honestly, that's why I was surprised you wouldn't have said. I figured your favorite moment would be when you whooped us in 2014, man. Just took our
fun, but man, I like aside of football wise, man. Like you guys go the best tailgates in the ACC. I think in the ACC. Not just my thing.
All right. Well, I'll throw it out there. Next year when you guys come to Raleigh, you're more than welcome to stop by ours, and you can
Sounds
judge.
Great, brother. Sounds great.
Yep. Well, and Michelle says it best. There are no tailgates. There are no enemies at tailgates.
Exactly. That is right. There are no enemies at tailgates. That's
the way. And that's the way. Like when I always have people from the other team at our tailgates, that's the same thing I say. Is like, look, we're not deciding the game out here. We're just having a good time, having, like you said, a few drinks, little food. We'll let them Neanderthals figure it out on the field. We're just here having a good time.
That's it, brother. That's it.
Well, and Michelle said it best. Things change when we walk in the stadium, but nothing.
And even more walking out. Like
that's right.
So
true story. So, I mean, again, I think for this game, it's just like Michael said it best. I mean, then they. Like, UNC is going to be a lot because, I mean, not only can they, get that win streak off the board, but also, too, they could, send us home, to sit on the couch in December. And then for our side, for us to keep that momentum going, but also to try and build something, off the season that was supposed to show a lot of promise. That, hey, at the very least, let's make sure to make it 4 in a row. So that's really what it is from the state side. But
I got another question for Mark. Yeah, so you look at the overall record, the NC State versus Carolina football record, the history, right? And Carolina does hold the edge, but when you look at the early part of the series, and I get it, those wins count, so you can't discredit them. But since the ACC has been established, it's a much different ratio to wins to losses by both teams. Right. Do you think that, and again, you're a Carolina guy, and so answer this however you want. Do you think Carolina football is more superior as a program history than NC State?
That's tough.
Man.
That's tough. Ooh, that's tough.
Because I don't have the exact numbers since the ACC was started, but it's almost 50-50.
That's tough. That's tough. That's tough to say, man. I'm gonna have to think on that one, honestly.
Well,
that one.
Well, and see, honestly, I was thinking about it a little bit earlier, and like it's kind of funny with us and NC State because like each of us have arguably one of the most dominant defensive linemen in the ACC with Julius Peppers, Bradley Chubb. We both have you
got to put Mario Williams, man. Come on, bro.
He always forgets Mario.
What is wrong with you?
Mario was the first #1 overall player.
Listen.
He's the first.
Listen, Chubb's my guy, man. Chubb's my guy.
He's a young fella. He's a young fella. I'm
disrespecting.
Mario was the first ever ACC #1 overall draft pick.
Oh man.
Hey, you know what, Marquise? Me and Greg had a back and forth on who was the greatest. So are you saying easily you're taking Mario over Chubb?
Yes. Are you kidding me? Yes.
Man.
I salute you.
I love it. Marquise, you're the man.
That's a soundbite. That's going on Instagram. Make sure you
Williams, man, come on, bro.
I love it. This is awesome.
Bradley played. This is what I'm gonna say. Also, Bradley played with some dudes. How many dudes did Mario play with?
He played with a couple first rounders. Tank Tyler, come on now, those guys, man. You played with some dudes.
I'm going Mario. Easy.
Yeah, no.
All right, Chubb, you're my guy. You with the fans right now. Fans up. You're my guy.
Yep.
All right, I go Mario with that. Got to.
I mean, but at the end of the day, it's like asking me which kid I like better of my 2 kids. Like,
sure. Absolutely.
So that's no disrespect to Mr. Chubb, because
that's right.
No, but it's just not. I always hate the comparison, especially when different eras. Things are just different. Personnel play like. There was more running back then. Manny Lawson was good too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different.
Different.
Hey, Marquise, we've had this debate before trying to figure out if that defensive line with Mario, with Tank Tyler, with Mario, with Manny Lawson versus Bradley Chubb, BJ Hill, Justin Jones, Katavius Street. I mean, both of them very dominant defensive lines for sure. So, but BJ, and hey, you saw plenty of all four of the 4 of those guys, BJ Hill and Justin Jones and those guys. And Jermaine Pratt. Nobody even talks about even Jermaine Pratt either, but he's still playing the pros.
Can't stand
him. You've seen him plenty of times. But get into it, Marquise. So talk to me about like what do you, because honestly, I know we got to talk a little bit about previews here, score predictions, things like that. But what is your keys to this game, man? What's your keys to this game?
Protecting the football for one.
Yes.
That's been State's Achilles heel.
That's either team, bro. Protecting the football. I think another big thing is for both of us, and I'm just saying, finding a running game. You guys found a good running game against Georgia Tech and it showed off.
We haven't been consistent. That's our problem.
So find a running game. We didn't have a running game against Boston College, so we just got to get back to running the football. And I think protecting the football, running the football, and to convert on third downs, man, it's the biggest thing. So trying to get out just converting and continue to move the chains. So
Yep. Now, I do want to ask you, just from a curiosity, because obviously the news has come out recently that Mac Brown's apparently said that he's going to be returning for next season.
Yep.
So, I do want to ask you, because obviously you were part of a team with, a head coach that took UNC to its first, Coastal Division title and AC championship game appearance. 11-1 season. 11-1 season. Don't disrespect
I won't disrespect it.
11-win season. So But obviously under Mac Brown, who's had two, inarguably the greatest quarterbacks in UNC history, of Drake May and Sam Howell. Would you say that if Mac Brown left after the season, if he had left after the season, would you say he is leaving UNC football in a better place than when he got it?
Yes, for sure. And that's no knock to my coach, Coach Fedora. I think when I left and Mitch left, it was it took a deep stink, with the quarterback. And that was the biggest thing for Coach Fedora. He didn't have another successful quarterback that makes you, like I say, that makes you good in this league. Mac did what he's supposed to do, man, and hats off to him. I hope he comes back because I'm close with Brown. I love Coach Brown, and it's fun to get to hang out with him at practice and talk to him. But that's a decision that him and God got to talk about. If he's ready to let it go, let it go. If he's not, come back. With a lot of people, just like y'all. I mean, I heard a lot of people say they hate Doran, they want to leave. Then you hear people say, let's keep him. It's the same thing, everybody saying, hey, Matt needs to go, and some saying we need to keep him. I'm on the side of keeping him because that's, I love Coach Brown, and I love what he's done for our university and for the football team. So, I hope he comes back. Hopefully he's probably not going to hear this talk, but I hope he do.
He tunes in every week. What are you talking about, Marquise?
yeah.
But I hope he do come back, though, man. So
I will say, if nothing else, he's elevated the program in the eyes of the national media.
Yes, sir.
Right. And I think, that's half the battle, right? Is getting in that conversation. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to move up the polls when you're already in the polls.
That's true.
And I think that was most of the battle for Mac. Like, I don't think anyone really expected that he would be there for 10, 15 years. And so it was just kind of stabilizing the program back to kind of where he's gotten it.
Got to be a bridge to the next long-term guy. And they just probably haven't found that. I think, honestly, most coaches of that age wants to find someone already in the program, and he just hasn't found that coordinator where he can hand the baton off and go, all right, you got it, deuces.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, who is on your wish list, Marquise, for next coach after Mac Brown?
Man, I haven't even thought about it, honestly, man. It's I haven't digged into like what coaches are doing good. I was following one coach, and I was following James Madison coach. He's a young coach, but there's a good team, good football team. But honestly, man, I haven't even really got into it. So right now my focus is if Matt's going to stay. That's the biggest thing for me, honestly. So
yeah. I mean, if he's going to stay, it's a totally new group of coaches next year. That it's like you never really know who's going to come available.
That's true.
And I don't really, and I'll be honest. I mean, I spend too much time following NC State stuff. But do you guys have a recruiting class to where it would make sense to where he's trying to hold something together, and you don't want to lose that continuity with coaches? Is that kind of a thing?
Yeah, man. We got a quarterback that's coming in, supposed to be really, really talented, and he wants Mac there, and I think that plays a big part of it right now. So I mean, if Mac stays, that he comes in and he's gonna be a heck of a dude for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start getting to Marquise here a little bit here, man. Is I think where would you say Amarian Hampton when he finished up the season and goes to the NFL draft, rightfully so, and will be one of the higher up draft picks in the NFL draft, definitely one of the higher up running backs to be taken. Where would you say he's going to leave UNC in terms of the all-time greats at running back?
Man, he's definitely up there, man. He has done some incredible things, man. Honestly, I didn't know if he was going to be this good, but he's good. He's good. He's humble. Don't say more than 2 words. You go out and talk to him.
No.
He'll just look at you, nod his head, and going about his business.
That's how you want it.
And a guy that just don't party either, man. Don't go out to party or nothing. Stays in his dorm to himself, and I love the kid. Is a great kid. I mean, he's a great kid. He's a humble kid, and whoever gets him in this draft is going to be a big time steal. Like I was saying last year, I think whoever got Peyton Wilson was going to be the biggest steal. And look what happened now with the Steelers. And I think the same thing on Amari. Man, he's a different breed. He's kind of like that blue collar kid, that's from North Carolina, where he puts his head down and go to work. And
gets overlooked a little bit too. Like
yeah. So.
Well, because I mean, and you know, like just like we were saying, Greg. I mean, at the end of the day, like as much as I'm diehard NC State, you know, and you know, GTHC as much as anybody else, and they respect got to be given where respect is due. Just like, hey, me and Marquise, man, you know, we're respect is due. And same thing with Amarian, where you know, I mean, I know, you know, that guy had humongous offers out of the SEC to go, and he decided to stay and finish and get his degree at UNC and finish what he started. And I can't do anything but respect the hell out of that. I mean, I really can't. So, you know, and just finish where he started. I love it. Go ahead, Greg.
No, I was just saying. I mean, I got beat the cheats in my little thing here, and you know, it's the rivalry. Like, it's
like, man, you gotta talk your junk, man.
Talk your junk, but don't step over the line. Like, right, nothing personal.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
like. That's what makes rivalries fun. When people take things too far, it's like
too far, man.
Why?
Too far. Yeah, too far.
No. Hey, if Drake May showed up at my tailgate, I'd hand him a beer. It's cool.
Hell yeah.
You know, it's all good. So, and hey, we were 0-2 against him, so I feel bad. I mean, we were 2-0 against him, so I feel bad for the guy. You know, just give him something.
I give him 2 beers, one for each loss.
Appreciate it, man. Cheers. Yeah. So let's start here, Marquise. Before we do the score predictions here.
All right.
So last year we did for our bet. We did. You had to go on social media. And you know, for you, go Pack. For me, go Heels. Whatever it may be. I think we bump it up a little bit here, and I think that not only with that, we also need to be wearing a piece of stuff.
Oh,
man! You know what you need? You need one of those like fan chains. That's probably like the best thing.
Something. I don't even care what, Marquise, but for me. I'll put because I already have a guy that I know is a diehard UNC fan that goes to my church that would love to give me one of his, has a shirt ready to go for me to wear. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a shirt, but just something NC State on you.
Okay.
And a go Pack. And then for me, UNC go Heels.
I'm glad you're making these bets for us. Like I am not doing that.
I'm glad to do it.
Man. You can lead the charge.
I'm glad to do it. So are we cool with that, Marquise? Deal?
It's a bet.
All righty. Deal it is, my friend. And again, post it on social media. And so again, go Pack, go Heels.
I will be reposting that on. I'll create like 20 accounts on X just to repost it.
Red right now.
How do you even let that happen? Not this week.
It's Santa Claus. Come here.
Oh, okay. That's why Santa Claus was a State fan.
Let's see it.
Go Heels.
What's up?
She's like, hey, is that Santa Claus right there with that beard? She thought she was ready to give me her list.
That's okay. We can definitely do that.
All righty. It's a bet. It's a deal. Let's do it. I know D-Roop was hyping it up earlier. If I could find it, I need a bet again this year. If we win, I see Marquise Steaks out something like my boys did it again, 4 in a row. Go Pack. You know, I won't make them say it. I won't make them say it's his boys. You know, we're gonna keep it real.
You go.
You know? Yeah, 3,
go
4. No,
yeah, go Pack.
Go Pack. Yeah. So, all right. So Carson, man, give me what's your score prediction gonna be for this game, man? What you thinking? Think State
31-23 Pack.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good bit of offense. Michael, what you got, bud?
Man, I don't know. I mean, this is
what's
so
the spread?
hard.
I'm just curious. Like, we haven't even talked about that.
3.5 UNC favored.
UNC.
Ooh, that's it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did just lose to Boston College.
Yeah.
I mean, neither of us are feeling really good right now.
It's like and that's essentially like
that game was in Boston College, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That place is a horror place to play. Like,
and it was
nobody there.
Raining too. I think Raymond was sleeping there too.
Yeah. I mean, we've not had much success up there, so I get it.
And you're in Boston in November, so it's stinking cold.
Probably cold.
The only thing I want to go to Boston for, no, I don't want to go to Boston for in nothing November. I wouldn't say even to eat clam chowder or a lobster roll like that.
I want to go to Boston.
Yeah. But yeah, so see right now UNC's favored by 3.5 and the over-under is 55.5 right now.
I mean, that's basically a pick 'em because it's at home.
Yeah,
well,
neutral site means it would
like
be
honestly
even,
for this
much.
like honestly for any rivalry game, like literally like if I were a betting man for this whole season, basically every single rivalry game, whoever's underdog, I'm betting on the underdog because I mean it's a rivalry game. Anybody can win.
Right.
It's a rivalry game. Like look at Stanford. Cal was favored by like 13 or something like that, and Cal won by 3. Like it was a tight game. So, but yeah, Michael, what you thinking, man? Putting you on the spot, bud.
I'll go 27-24 Pack.
Okay. Yeah, Greg. I see it, man. See those wheels are turning, man.
I had the same score Michael did. So you got in there. So I won't take it. I feel like there's got to be a field goal because field goal Dave always gets a field goal. So I'm gonna go. That's not mine. I stole it from
3-0.
Yeah.
3-0.
I'll go 24-17 State.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I think it's going to be. I think the under for sure. I don't know if I see over 55 points between these two teams, but especially I would assume that Mac Brown learned from his lesson last year and said, all right, I need to give Amari and Hampton the ball more. Not put so much. Now I know it's obviously different between Drake May and Jacoby Criswell. Completely get that for sure. So even more so, I think that the ball is going to go to Amari, just like you said, Marquise trying to establish that run game. I'm thinking. All right. Yeah, I'm thinking roughly the same thing. So I'm gonna say 21-20 Pack. I'm thinking like
close.
field goal. I'm thinking like either we win on a last second field goal or a missed field goal. Like I'm thinking it's gonna be that close. I think it's gonna be a great game for sure. I'm looking forward to it. So but again, and just like I was talking to one of my buddies this morning, I honestly have no clue who's going to win because I don't know if we're going to see the Stanford NC State offense or the Duke NC State offense. I have no idea if we're going to see the Tennessee NC State defense or the Duke NC State defense. Like I have no idea which of either side I'm going to see. And with UNC, I mean, I haven't been following them a ton, but I mean, it definitely seems like from me and Marquise that it's a lot of inconsistency as well too. So no clue.
Definitely roller coasters. Oh yeah.
But I think, Marquise, to your point though, before you make your prediction, whoever turns the ball over less has got to win this game. I think there's no doubt about that.
Agreed.
I don't know what your guys' turnover margin is, but I think we're -14 on the season, something like that. Like it's not good. Yeah. So we haven't done a good job of protecting or getting them.
Yep. No, absolutely. So Marquise, give us a score prediction, man. What you got, bud?
I'm going 24-21 Heels, man. 24-21 Heels, man. Something close and under. So yeah, it's gonna be close, man. It's been close for the last couple of years, man. It's always fun. I always use that head, but it's gonna be all right.
What do we feel like the likelihood is, guys, of a special teams touchdown? I'm feeling some kind of a punt or kickoff touchdown, man.
I'm not feeling one.
Wait. So, hold on. My question is, Gio Bernard has no more eligibility, right?
Yeah, exactly. We did just have one against Boston College, but I don't know that.
We haven't had one this year.
I don't think so.
No, we got
for a
close.
touchdown.
I know. Yeah. Well, DK Kaufman got close.
In the Stanford
he got
game.
The 5-yard line.
I think our first was last Saturday against Boston College. So.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But anyway, Marquise, again, I appreciate you, man, as always, man. Always a pleasure to have you on, man. I'm cool with making this a tradition, man. You just come on and we can make the bet right here publicly. Yeah. And we'll settle it. So but definitely again, man, hope to bump into you at the game on Saturday, man.
Keep me updated, man. Keep me updated if you come,
I'll be there. That's all that matters. Hey, Marquise, by the way, just real quick, this is number 40 in a row for me, home and away games.
Oh, so you'll be here? You're going to be there? All right, bro. All right.
I haven't missed a game in 3 years.
All right,
home or away.
Okay. That's awesome, bro. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true dedication. That's love.
And that's new ACC, Marquise. That's Cal too, man.
That's diehard. Like that is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Regardless if you're on the red side, that's still dope.
Look, I respect anybody that does
dope,
that.
Man. That's dope.
Yep.
That's dope.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. All right, Marquise. Hey, appreciate you, man. I'll talk to you soon. And
good luck, not good luck.
Hey, go Heels.
Get out of here.
See y'all boys
boys.
Saturday, man. See ya.
See ya.
See ya. Oh man, I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to do this thing. But man, that's how you do it right there, y'all. That's how you preview, get ready for the NC State versus UNC game, man. Now my rivalry juices are pumping, man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to whoop it. But I'm telling you here, Greg, first and foremost, man, that I do gotta talk for a second about that Georgia Tech game, man. Like, bro, like that was just well, first of all, all right. I wish I could have seen this ahead of time, but the odds of CJ Bailey rushing for 3 touchdowns has to be astronomical. It had to have been plus 50,000. Seriously. Like seriously. It must have been stupid, outrageous numbers that CJ Bailey had 3 rushing touchdowns.
Especially the way they were. Like they were
right, long.
Like 2 of them were long.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And the fact that he didn't pass for 1. He rushed for 3 and didn't pass for any.
It was crazy because all of our run, like the Smothers run and then 2 of the CJs, I was trying to record as much content as I could, and I was like, oh, they're too far out, they're not going to score, and then they just go. I was like,
yep,
dang it.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, too, we got Michelle saying, Greg, kudos to you and everyone else going to Keenan. I vowed to never return there.
It's fair.
I'm
not mad at it.
I get it. I mean, honestly, I vote more against Wake Forest's football stadium than I have against UNC's football stadium. But
I've had more obnoxious run-ins with Wake than I have Carolina, which is probably crazy to say. But I just think Wake has little person syndrome, like just little school syndrome, not little person. That's probably not the way I meant to say that. But Carolina's been at least a little classier, which is kind of hard to believe. But yeah,
yep. No,
that's because usually there's no one there. I guess that's probably another point.
Well, exactly. And in game saying I'll be there. Hunter saying, of course, he's going to be there. Yeah. I mean, again, it's going to be a great time. But yeah, I mean, like, we won't spend too much time on Georgia Tech games. I mean, really, for me, it's more of like, what else is new? Guess what? Offense issues, defense frustrations, coaching frustrations, like. What else is new? But the one thing I want to ask, like, is anybody like really going to vote here? Like, is adamant that Hollywood Smothers should have slid the 1 yard line? Is anybody really going to stake the blame in that?
No.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: there's no guarantee that field goal gets made.
Right. Or he doesn't go 20 or fumble or
snapped over his head.
Well, and let's put it this way: if there was 30-40 seconds left, okay, sure. But there was a minute and a half left, like so we would have had to run a lot of time off. Yeah. A lot of crazy crap would have had to happen. But like if it was 34 seconds, okay, cool.
Well, and it's not like you're running at the 10-yard line and you can be like, hey, right, you're inside, like you're at the 10, get your 5 yards, fall down, and we're gonna sit on the no, like it was a long run, and so that's probably 53 the last
yards. I mean, you weren't even talking about it at that point. And I mean, we're losing. It's a different conversation if you're tied or winning. Like you're losing, you have to get the points. Like you can't. Yeah, that's the easiest touchdown you're going to get at that point.
Right.
So yeah.
And here's the crazy thing: like the defense had been played so well up until the last 2 possessions, and so you figure you're going to get a stop at some point in that sequence. Again, just like Wake, just like. We were talking about this. The margins are so thin. You could easily have +3 wins in the win column at this point.
Well, and I don't know.
We're like 5 plays away from being like 9 and 2 at this point, 8-3, something like that.
Yeah, that. Have you guys seen the Twitter account? And it's like how bad did you get beat or whatever, and it's like shows success rate.
Yeah.
Well, so it's like on a play-by-play basis. So we've lost 3 games while winning success rate, and which is like a little bit of luck, a little bit of costly turnovers, which that was.
So there's 8-3, like I just said.
Yeah. So it's just frustrating because a lot of it is beating ourselves, right? I mean, I don't know how we were missing Davin Van on that last drive. Like he did against Cal, like he was coming up with a big sack on that drive if he's in.
Well, I thought we had just done a really good job with Davin Van in there because he was eating up blocks, and the other guys were getting pressure. Like, I thought we did a really good job. The one thing that annoyed me, I will say, in that game was the damn 3rd and 3 draws. I can't tell you how many times they ran that play, and they did a really good job early on. Georgia Tech did, and then we finally caught on. It was like, okay, let's spy the quarterback and not let them get the damn 3-yard draw. I was just yelling the play like 5 times in the stands. I'm like, here comes
the
QB
announcers
draw.
were too. The announcers were too.
Were they? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I mean, it was basically if Haynes King is in, they're running it. Like, I mean, it was really simple. So
that was
that was
right,
Michael.
I mean, that last drive, I just have never seen Gibson
terrible
call a drive that badly.
That bad.
We should have blitzed. I mean, we at least once or twice give him some pressure. When he was basically throwing 7-on-7 drills, and then when we did not pressure, when we ran our standard 3-man front, everyone dropping in coverage, put a spy on the damn quarterback, because everybody's dropping in coverage. Exactly right. Everyone's got their backs to the quarterback, and he just takes off for 20-30 yards out of whack. And in college football, when you get that chain reset, that's a dagger. Like, they would have ran out of time had it been for that not being a thing. If that was a pro game, they would have either ran out of time, or we would have probably gotten a stop, because they would have had at least 1 or 2 throwaways on that drive. And then you're getting to 4th downs potentially.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
absolutely. But yeah, Carson, I mean, like, and Carson, do you have any idea why Dave Doran called that last time out? I still don't know why he called that last time out.
When there were 6 seconds left?
Well, there was only 5. There was only 5, and then they put the second on after he called the timeout.
But does that make?
But that's why. Go ahead, Carson.
I think that does make a big difference.
It does. Go ahead, Carson. I'm sorry.
I don't understand it if he was just going to kick the field goal. If I were calling timeout, I would try to get the second back and then try to get a quick pass play for 5 yards, get out of bounds.
But there's no guarantee you get out of bounds. Then you have no timeout. So that's the problem. I think if he had gotten the 6 seconds, because it was an incompletion, he would have ran the play, then called the timeout. Like the strategy changes expeditiously when that happens. So that 1 second is literally a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at that timeout call. I really am not.
Well, I mean, again, I guess it's just that combined with obviously the decision too that definitely sent a lot of NC State fans curiosities going was when they put Colin Smith in to kick the field goal instead of Vincent. And obviously hindsight 2020 afterwards being like, when he missed, you should have put in Vincent. But I mean, and we said
I don't think you.
Well, and again, at the end of the day, Colin Smith, I don't know how many has he even attempted field goals this year?
Yeah, against Stanford. Yeah, he kicked primarily against Stanford. I think he had 2 or 3 field goals and 4 or 5 extra points.
Okay, there you go. Oh, so what was Vincent injured that game?
Yeah, he had something with his foot, I think is what it was. He was definitely out that game. Yeah,
tough injury for a kicker.
Yeah,
yeah. No, a little bit.
I think he had plantar fasciitis. I think is what they had said. If I remember correctly.
No, I think Colin Smith makes sense. He does your kickoffs. He's got the bigger leg. He's probably not as accurate, but that thing was 2 feet from going in.
So let me just tell you a story since I was there. The wind had been kind of a thing all night. I swear on 1,000 stack of Bibles, it was the biggest freaking gust all night as we were lining up for that kick.
And it almost helped us though, because at the end it turned back in at the last second. I thought it was good on TV, watching on TV.
I thought it was good in the stands.
It was close. I was back in at the last second. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I had to watch the Georgia Tech fans. That was the only reason I didn't. I was like, he didn't make it. I was looking around that didn't go over. Yeah. Well,
and again, and I said in our text, Greg, but I said like when Colin Smith was dropping the grass, it went clearly front and right, like right all day, twice on Tuesday. When he kicked it, it curved right slightly, but nowhere near as much as that grass said it was going to. Yeah. So I think he perfectly, honestly.
He kicked. Yeah, I mean, he kicked it about as good as you could ask for in that situation. It was just.
I mean, what, 18
yards,
inches?
yeah.
18 inches to the right, 20 inches to the right. It wasn't much. It was less than 2 feet.
Oh,
honestly, if it was a little bit longer, it may have been good. Like if it had been 60 instead of a 58-yard field goal, because it would have had a little bit more time to curve back in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Hunter said best.
It had a distance.
We fought our tails off. I never had us penciled in for W in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, we fought for sure, but at the end of the day, just execution wise, there was a lot of issues. Obviously, you look back hindsight 2020 on that quote unquote pick six, and say, man, that sucked.
He had 2 pick sixes, right?
No, just the
No.
one on
the other one got real
pass.
close.
Yeah, it was
got
like one
got
play
close.
and then they scored.
Yeah, that's what
one
it was.
play and then they
That's
scored.
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was just
yeah.
okay. All right. So, I mean, the hell with it. We're a fan podcast.
Yeah.
Whose fault was that on that pick six?
So on the troop,
don't know.
The true pick six. Yeah.
So let's put it this way. I think that was a lack of experience. I think he because he tried to pitch it, and when he pitched it, he threw it almost at Hollywood's face. When I think
Was it Hollywood? That was KC.
No, it was KC.
That was KC.
Oh, okay.
No,
That's why I'm asking the question.
I think that,
hair. So yeah.
I think that's kind of where you're supposed to put it though, because they can see it, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I think it was just also an unlucky bounce that it went right off his face mask and hit Bailey again. Like the reason that they do the pass instead of a handoff is because if he drops it, it's an incomplete pass instead of a fumble. But of course, the guy was right there. It hits off Bailey's leg or arm or whatever, and
he just kind of, it was a reaction thing. He kind of caught
he
popped it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but
you guys are nice.
But again, like at the end of the day, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, all right, like at this point, like we could talk about that and all the other frustrations we've had for this entire season for hours. But then day, like
doesn't change anything.
Like, but let's put it this way: first thing I'll say though is winning against UNC doesn't necessarily put all that behind us. Like I wouldn't necessarily say that like beating UNC isn't going to change anything for this offseason in terms of some things, some moves that need to be made for sure. But it definitely, a loss would put a lot of salt in those wounds.
Yes.
You lost UNC would put huge salt in the wounds and would really stoke the fires of a lot of these things that in-state fans are calling for. Let's put it that way.
The nice thing is it would be another 360-ish days before they had another opportunity to beat you.
Yeah.
And it's already over 1,300 days at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly right. Right. So
a loss hurts you like 10 times what a win does.
It's like a double loss.
Yeah. Well, because also too, again, you don't have
no bowl.
Not that again, this really matters too much, in today's history, but like typically in the old college football days, typically those practices for bowl practices are huge because of developmental purposes of being able to develop, run more plays, have more opportunities. Because I mean, if you lose, you're not allowed to practice anymore. You're done. You're shut down.
Right.
So,
and the other thing too is the bowl game doesn't count towards eligibility. So all of those guys that can play. So you have a full complement of a roster, and those are just experiences that these young guys can get.
True. No,
and in some cases, that could be the difference in whether they stay or not. Because you know what? Oh, the last memory will be they played in a game, and if not, then it change. I think it definitely changes the way these young guys think.
Agreed, 100%. Now, the one thing, Greg, which I mean, it's crazy to say right now, but I mean, has Jordan Waters been our third best running back this season?
I mean, by default, yes.
No,
it feels like
I think I'd still put him second ahead of Raphael.
But man, Raphael has looked so good, specifically against Georgia Tech. He looked really good, man. So, but yeah, no, I know, I get it. So, but it's just crazy to think about again with all the excitement, being like, man, can Jordan Waters finally be our first 1,000-yard rusher since Reggie Gillespie? And man, now I'm looking at going, man, like, I just hope we get Hollywood Smothers back next season, so that way he could be the guy to finally get us 1,000 yards rushing in a season. So,
I mean, you just look at the numbers. The numbers do bear out that he is your third best running back. just because he's had 20 more carries than Kendrick, and he's got an average of 4.8, whereas Kendrick has a whole nother yard at 5.7, and Hollywood has 5.7 as well. Look, I know he has that one electric run, the 94-yarder, and people will probably remember that more than maybe something that Kendrick or Hollywood has done. But I think I would agree with you, Leighton. I think Jordan has been the third best running back.
Well, because keep in mind that really he's had two big runs that have made up a majority of his rushing yards, and that was the one against Western Carolina and then the one against Stanford. Yeah. So, but you take those both away, and I mean it's not good. So
try again. Hollywood has got 4 touchdowns, and Jordan's got 4, and Hollywood's got it on 24 less carries. Now, if you flip over to the receiving, Kendrick has 10 receptions and Jordan has 14. So there's that does count for something as well, because you were talking all around backs, and Jordan's average is much better. Now, Hollywood, I think Hollywood's your number one. I think that there's no doubt about that. Yeah. And so really the question is, okay, is Jordan either 2 or 3? It's close. It's close.
Yeah. I think Waters is a little bit better out of the backfield catching the ball, and a little bit better in blitz pickup.
Correct.
In the backfield.
So that counts too, right?
So
blocking counts.
I probably have him too.
Absolutely. Now the interesting thing, y'all, and this is going to hurt for a lot of people, but these last 2 games have been Kevin Concepcion's worst games per PFF. These have been his worst PFF grades against Duke and Georgia Tech. I mean, talking specifically, Kevin Concepcion, he had 8 targets in this game, 3 catches for 21 yards. 3 catches for 21 yards off of 8 targets.
And he was part of the reason that pick 6 happened.
I mean, simple as that. Yeah, no, I agree. So, I mean, that's why I'm sitting here saying, unfortunately, yes. I mean, Aaron Concepcion decommitting, you could read the tea leaves. We talked about that last week. But I'm sitting here saying, I mean, you can't blame that on coaching, at the end of the day. Go ahead.
I didn't lose any sleep last night. So,
no. Nope, not one bit.
Look, at this point, it's nothing personal. I think he's given a lot to this university. I will say that his body language hasn't looked good at times. I don't think I'm the only one that would say that in this fan base. I don't want to say right off, like if he comes back next year, then I would love for him to come back
for sure. Yeah.
Go ahead, I just don't see it though. That's the problem. Like this room is very crowded, and you've got some guys that are redshirting this year that are just you're good. You're going to lose.
All signs point to him leaving. There's nothing. There's nothing concrete or really anything behind that besides just, like you said, a little bit of body language during the season. Now his brother's decommitting. So yeah.
And look, and I'll be honest, and I think you were saying it, Leighton, that the offensive scheme has not helped him either. Like that, so he's probably frustrated with that as much, and that might be some of the body language that we're seeing.
Sure.
It just doesn't feel good. But I will stand on this hill and go, get Justin Jolie the damn ball.
Oh, yeah.
3 targets. Like, come on now.
Carson, what do you think about that?
Yeah, Justin Jolie's been very efficient all season. And I feel like we've underutilized him a lot.
A ton. Yeah. No, I mean, the fact that honestly he has a pass blocking grade on here really bugs me, because I'm like, bro, that guy should not be pass blocking one bit, man. Get him out there and throw him the daggone ball, man.
He was staying back. He was staying in pass coverage on 3rd down in the Georgia Tech game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got a decent pass blocking grade.
How are you not putting that guy out on routes on 3rd down?
He's made some insane catches. I mean, it's not just the fact that he can get open and make catches. He will make catches in insane positions.
Yeah. The way he contorts his body, insane.
Yeah.
Yep. No, absolutely.
And he's not afraid to go up and make a catch over the middle. Like, holy cow, when he knows he's going to get hit.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, love Jolie and again, like with Concepcion, like, yes, the play design, with the quick screen out to him, sure. But at the end of the day, like if we put the ball in his hand, we expect you to be somewhat efficient, especially off of what he did last year. I mean, like let's be real. Like it's not like last year we did anything necessarily crazy, Like at the end of the day, we got him the ball, and at the end of the day, he made plays, and you can't tell me that he's done just as well this year, with what he's got. Like no, he unfortunately is way less efficient this year, and I think it's a combination of coaching, but also too just maybe just hasn't really cared as much. I don't know. Like again, just unfortunately, just like you were saying, Greg, his body language and combined with his performance, like just not at all what you want to see. So, but yeah, Michelle's saying right here, Jolie has been underutilized, and that speaks volumes about the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is what I wanted to piggyback off. You had a Nye and the way he used Arondé Gatson at Syracuse, and there was a formula there. What is different? What is like honestly, those are the same dude in my opinion. Like I think Gatson might be a little bit bigger, but
taller, more,
a little taller, but it's insane. And from what I understand, Justin Jolie is like the second or third fastest dude on the team. Like he's
like, fast for his size. Yeah. Very.
So what are we doing?
I think. I mean, it's weird because I didn't think Anai was that bad up until the Duke game. Like, obviously, the Stanford game, you put up 59 points. Obviously, called that game well. And then the Duke game and this game has just been terrible. I mean, like, that
I don't think
play
this
call
game was terrible. You still ran for 250 some odd yards. Okay.
Up until the fourth quarter. Yeah, fourth quarter when you're down and you had to start actually going for it.
Yeah, but a lot of that is just CJ and Hollywood just flying around.
Yeah.
It looked like backyard. Yeah. They look like backyard football.
Yeah, that Hollywood touchdown, right, was just the inside zone, handoff up the middle, and he just broke it. And then like you said, Carson, I mean, all three of CJ Bailey's touchdowns were pass plays that he scrambled on. None of those were designed runs. Right. That when we did that little wide receiver screen to the left side of the field where the line goes out to try and block the corner and probably the nickel, and it didn't work, and it was third down, and he runs the exact same play again, and it doesn't work again. I was like, what are we doing?
Or the first down screens that don't work, and then now you're in obvious path. I would love us to see us go a little vertical on first downs, and it just doesn't feel like we do. We
haven't done that at all this year.
It doesn't feel that way.
No.
It's like it's either some kind of bubble screen, it's a run or a true screen. Like that's all it feels like on first down.
Well, and I truly do believe that like we've all have seen or played NCAA football 14 in the old with the four verticals play, right? I mean, like we all lived and breathed off of four verticals play, and I feel like that a nice four verticals play is that screenplay with the screen left, screen right, but then like having Concepcion like covering coming over the middle. And then, basically CJ has options. Like Anai has run that play to death, man. Like at least two or three times a game, I feel like.
I think because in some of the earlier games, I mean, Bailey was making those throws. Some of it's on Bailey too. He was making those throws to Jolie down the seam. Sure. Or he hit a couple to Noah Rogers on the outside, maybe Grimes on the outside, and then
It's funny. My dad watches like all the games, but he doesn't like pay as close attention as some of the things that we do as like I do. And look, Dante Daniels goes in on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. I said, we're running it. And he goes, how do you know? I said, Dante Daniels is in. We just look, get creative out of those things. Like if you want to put Dante Daniels in, please put him in. He's a good player, but you got to be creative because are you thinking like you're the only team that watches film? Like,
right.
Yep.
What? It's right. And so it's the predictability of this offense. Like it feels like there's zero creativity.
And I don't mind that if your success rate in those situations is good, but it's not good. If Dante Daniels comes in and we run the ball and everybody knows we're running the ball and we still get 3 yards because that's what we needed on that to get the first down, like that's fine.
1,000%.
It just doesn't.
The whole season.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Yeah, no, absolutely. So anyway, y'all, I think we beat Georgia Tech game to death at this point.
And another thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Another thing.
Since Megan's not here, that's for you, Megan.
Shout out to you, brother. Yeah. So again, hey, let's just focus on Carolina.
Go beat Carolina.
W, and let's make the best that we can of the season. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, man, I really don't want to.
That's a great statement, Michelle, right there. The predictability is frustrating when it's grossly unsuccessful, and you said it more eloquently than Michael did.
Yeah, of course. Like the perfect example is the Eagles. When they do that tush push, they line up. Everybody lines up. They know that you're going. You know it's coming, and nobody can stop it.
That's a great example. That's a really good
example. That was a beautiful example.
Way to come back there, Michael.
Yeah.
You screwed up the first part.
I put it together.
You got there. You got there.
All right, y'all. Let's jump on some tweets of the week here. I mean, we really can't go a step further, right, without giving a shout to our amazing men's soccer team that has gone to the Sweet 16, y'all. I mean, just an awesome win on the road at Georgetown, beating them 2-0. Now facing Marshall here at Marshall on November 30th. So I think that is Saturday at 2 p.m. Again, y'all, I said this when we first interviewed the new coach, Mark Hubbard, who came down from New Hampshire. I said, this is not a rebuild. This is simply like we're loading and we're going. That's all this season is. And that's all it has been. Flirting with top 15 in the country, with some huge wins this season. And now, really capping it all off with a Sweet 16 appearance. I mean, I've said, y'all, I mean, like Mark Hubbard is not playing around. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. And NC State soccer is here to stay. It is going to be a mainstream.
This is the first time we've won 2 tournament games in the same season since 1991.
Yeah.
Wow. So how is that? Because didn't we go to the Sweet 16 back in like 2016, 2018?
We might have had a bye or something. Because sometimes some teams get a bye the first round, depending on if they're nationally seeded or not. So that might have been the case in that instance.
Hey, Carson, you know more about that?
Yeah, due to Title IX, a lot of schools have more women's teams than men's teams. So there's more women's soccer programs than men's soccer programs. So the women's tournament is basically just March Madness. But the men's tournament, you have a few teams that get buys and whatnot.
See, there we go. Look at that, Carson. You're the man, bro. Appreciate that. So again, y'all, so huge shout out to Mark Hubbard, y'all. Just love what this team has done so far. Obviously coming off a really exciting win. I mean, again, because UNC Charlotte, I mean, I just want to preface like UNC Charlotte men's soccer, like men's soccer is really what I think, in my opinion, spending 1 year there, during my undergrad years, like that's really what UNC Charlotte Athletics hangs their hat on, is their men's soccer program. And so for us to beat them, like that was a really big win, like to just make it very clear. So, really excited about that. And obviously in overtime for sure. Because Carson, did you happen to make it over there after the women's basketball game? Did you?
No, I did not. They had this football game on the screen outside Tally, so I stopped and watched that after working that game for 10
Are you even a fan?
I know, right?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm mad at myself.
I was keeping up with the score on my phone, and Mrs. Wolf was there, and so Mrs. Wolf was going crazy when they scored.
Yeah.
I'm so mad that I did not go to the soccer game yesterday, and it was right up the road in Georgetown. I was going to, and then I wasn't going to, and yeah,
all good.
I'm not.
No, right. Now, gotta give a shout as well to one of our other sports, in-state wrestling. Had a big win on Saturday night. So definitely make sure to go check out wrestling. I'm telling you all this right here, right now, man. Like these next two, this season and next season are going to be seasons to behold for NC State wrestling. So just buckle up tight. It's going to be a crazy year this year, but next year, y'all, I think next year might be the best NC State wrestling team in program history. I'm calling it right now. Okay. Like with how it's loading up, it's going to be sick. I mean, would you agree with that, Greg? I mean,
yeah, you got some dudes that aren't even wrestling right now.
Right, and you're basically holding them. You're basically holding them back. Like you're just keeping them in the barn. Just keep them nice and safe. Keep letting them develop. Let them get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a little bit better. And then next year you're unleashing them, combined with some of the other guys that we have from this year's team. Like watch out.
Good.
So
it's gonna be real good.
But moving on to our next one here, got to give a quick shout to state volleyball as well, y'all. That I think this year has finally been that breakthrough that Coach Lucas Slabe and this volleyball team has been looking for. Again, beating all three triangle teams, Wake Forest twice, UNC and Duke, all in the same season, which is huge for this NC State volleyball program that really has been just kind of on the back burner of triangle volleyball programs, and especially ACC volleyball programs. But now adding on top of it 2 different players, Amanda Rice getting her 1,000 kills accolade, and also to Jada Allen getting over 400 blocks, which is incredible to say the least. But I mean, Carson, anything else to really add about this volleyball program and the steps it's taken this season?
Yeah, they've taken a lot of big steps. And you look at what they did Friday night, playing SMU, taking them to 5 sets. SMU's in the top 10. I mean, that's no tough loss. That's no bad loss.
Easy task.
All.
Yeah.
I mean, they won the first set. They won the first set, and then they forced it to 5 as well. But SMU, they're top 10. They know how to finish games. So
sure,
not to knock on them, but
yeah.
I was working technician both of these games against Pitt, SMU, and Pitt. Pitt's number 1. And I talked to the players afterwards. Talked to Amanda Rice, and she loves what the culture and what the fan support is growing for this program.
Yeah,
I love it. I love that. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, again, it's at the end of the day, fans love winning teams, and for me, it's so easy to see that Lucas Labe with the youth he brings, with the energy he brings, that better and better players are going to want to be a part of this, and so right now for Lucas Labe, it's only going to get easier and easier to go out and go to the biggest recruits in the country and say, come to NC State, make a claim, and I mean this program can be yours, and let's take it to the next level. As simple as that. So
yeah, the crazy thing is, though, real quick, is the ACC is the best volleyball conference in all. So it's not going to get easier. So we definitely have to step up as well, because the rest of the conference has stepped up.
Absolutely agree. So
yeah, I mean you got Georgia Tech, Stanford, Louisville, Pitt, SMU. I mean they're all Florida State. They're a top 25 program as well. But
Stanford's usually pretty good too.
Yeah, I think I mentioned Stanford.
Did you? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But let's move on here, though. Let's spend the last 5 minutes or so talking about, I think, one of the biggest pieces of news, honestly, which is, it's not anything that's going to really change much in terms of on-field performance. But I mean, Greg, we're obviously going through right now a little bit from the basketball side and from a Carolina Hurricane side now, talking about PNC Arena versus now the Lenovo Center.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, bro, going from saying welcome to Carter Finley Stadium to welcome to
Stadium.
Welcome to the SAS Stadium. If James Goodnight decides to stake his claim finally, but I can see, Greg, kind of where you're going with this, but Michael, I mean, listen, we would get a lot of money off of it for sure, so which is a good thing, but obviously, again, it's
I'm more curious as to the number. What's the number?
Yeah. Well, I think I read the article that there was 7 different searches that this company has done that's raised over $180 million combined over those 7 searches. So I mean, you split that up, that's 20.
Yeah, but what are those 7 searches? Not all searches are created equal, right? So if you're because they could have done the Pit Bull Stadium at FAU.
Well, I'm just saying, so on average, over those 7, they've gotten the schools $24 million on average.
On average, yeah.
So
again, how many years?
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, $24 million is $24 million. I mean,
yeah.
Sure. I would assume that hopefully we're going to be on the higher end of that. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'm genuinely curious as to the schools, right? Because the brand does mean something. I don't know if we're in the same breath. I do know, like, when we signed our last Adidas deal, I think Dr. Yao was still with us. Maybe I can't remember.
Yeah.
That was the largest Adidas deal at the time. So like, how do these corporate sponsors view us on the large scale of it?
Yeah.
Yep. But Mike, what's your thoughts?
Well, with the the revenue sharing coming into place in the next year or 2 years, I mean, it's just the school and the athletic department, they just have to keep finding revenue streams wherever possible, and this is an easy one that is basically harmless. I know people won't like it, of course, because there's people complain about anything, but at the end of the day, it's an easy couple $1 million a year that really doesn't hurt anybody, and should be able to make up some of that revenue for when the schools have to start paying the players directly.
Mm-hmm.
True. Very good point. Carson, any thoughts on this, brother?
Not at the moment. I mean, this is very early on into the announcement. I guess we'll have to wait and see, what comes from it.
Yeah, it really depends on what the name is. Like,
right.
Yeah, very much agree. But and Michelle's saying it best. It's historic. However, if we have a winning program of postseason success, I do not care what the stadium is called.
I'm the same way with the uniforms, Michelle. I don't care what color you put them in. You can put them in pink and green. I don't care.
Winning.
That's right. Amen. So anyway, y'all, again, Wolfpack Nation, you've heard it here first. Again, me and Marquise Williams officially have a bet that will be settled here over this weekend. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Make sure to give us a follow, Tuffy Talk Now, Twitter specifically, but also Instagram and TikTok as well, because why not? To make sure you do not miss out on that. Obviously, if we're expecting NC State to come out with a W here, and if so, we will definitely be all over that when Marquise sells it. But then, if unfortunately we have to pay the piper, and we will definitely do that as quickly as possible just to get it over with and get it done and whatever. So, and I'm sure there'll be some UNC accounts that will bookmark it and hold on to it for life, and whatever. It is what it is. So, okay. Greg, what's your thought here, man?
No, real quick, I wanted to just a piece of news that might have kind of flown under the radar, but still a very important one is One Pack NIL had a big hire over the weekend with John Ditton, corporate sponsorship. That's a big void. Again, we were just talking about revenue streams. And so hopefully that's, another untapped. I mean, it's not completely untapped, but now we have a full-time focus on it. So I'm excited for John to jump on board with those guys.
Yep. No, absolutely. All righty. So Wolfpack Nation, again, we'll see y'all here Saturday, 3:30 p.m. NC State versus UNC. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be an exciting one. Let's get the W so we can head into bowl season and watch this team play together again one more time. But with that being said, Wolfpack Nation, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Make sure if you enjoyed this conversation, hit that like button, and make sure again to give us, if you're listening to us on iHeart Podcasts, iHeart Radio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to us, do it was a big favor as well, and leave the 5-star review. We greatly appreciate that as well. But we'll see y'all soon. As always, go Pack, y'all. Beat the cheats.
Go to hell, Carolina.